Hi everybody. Last week I took a break from these videos and spent my time that I would spend making a video trying to successfully finding and sharing work from thought leaders, Black thought leaders in the business world. That was pretty popular. People seemed to really like me bringing attention to people that they could follow and be friends with and connect with. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm also going to bring the videos back. They may not be every single day. We're just going to see. As the production value kind of raises on these videos, they get a little bit more time intensive. And I also have other work to do. When I first started doing these videos, work was very, very minimal. So we're just going to play it by ear. That's all for housekeeping. Now I want to talk about why we as small business owners, you and me, should advocate to defund the police. That's kind of a scary sentence. Defund the police sounds frightening, I guess. It sounds radical, and really it's not. When we look at the budgets that our city allocates to the police force versus the benefits that the police really have for us as community members, citizens, small business owners, we have to sort of admit that there's no ROI there for us. And I'm speaking specifically to Portland because that's where my business operates and that's where I've been a business owner for the last 6 years. But here in Portland specifically, we have a massive homelessness problem. We have huge problems with homelessness. People cannot stay in their houses and they're having to live in cars and in the streets, and that is affecting our communities badly. We also have large-scale mental health problems. People aren't able to get treatment for their mental health unless they have a job that has health insurance or they have a business where they can afford to pay for health insurance. And that's just, it's not fair for those individual people, and it's not fair for us as business owners and citizens, honestly. How many times have you, as a small business owner, especially if you have a brick and mortar, how many times have you had this story play out for you? There's a community member that you may even know where they live, you may know their name, you may know their story. And due to their mental health, their status, or their addiction, they are sometimes dangerous and sometimes not. They're clearly struggling, and it's an issue. How many times have you hesitated to call the police when this person is a danger to themselves and others because you know that the police will either not come and not do anything and be kind of mean to you about it, or if they do come, they're going to tackle this person, otherwise harm this person, drag this poor person to jail when they need mental health counseling, and then in an hour, a couple of hours, an afternoon, a day, a week sometimes at most, that person is back on your street, in your neighborhood, in your business, acting out, frightening customers, committing vandalism, stealing, whatever. No better off. No better off. In fact, usually worse off than they were when the police came and tackled them and dragged them away. How many times has that happened to you as a business owner? I know it is a non-zero number. I've seen it happen over and over in the communities that I've advocated for business in the communities that I've worked in. And I primarily work in East Portland. Other communities may have different experiences with the Portland police. But in East Portland, specifically, it is very difficult to get the police to help you with anything in your business. And frequently when they do come and help, it's not really the kind of help you were hoping for. All of us, we're just people in a community, with a business in a community. Most small business owners, we start a business because we have a passion. Frequently we have a passion for the thing we do, but we also have a passion for people. We love our customers. We love our clients. We love being able to transform their lives with our products and our services. And so for us, when we see someone who is constantly in distress, constantly in pain, it is maddening. It's maddening because we can't do anything about that. We don't have any kind of power. We don't have the kind of resources to keep our neighbors safe frequently from themselves, from others. So we are at odds. We are in a situation where we can't call the police, and sometimes we can't not call the police because insurance needs a police report or whatever. What if instead of this horrific limbo, we could call a different service of social workers that are trained in de-escalation, that are not armed, that are not going to traumatize this person, that are going to help the person in our community that is struggling get the resources that they need. They're going to help people stay in their homes. They're going to help people with their addiction. They're going to help people with their mental health issues. And I am not saying that this new service would be perfect, but I'm saying that we have been using the wrong tool for this job. We have heavily armed stormtroopers coming to our businesses to keep us safe, and they're just frightening everyone, and they're tackling people, and they're not helping. They're not helping at the end of the day. The Portland police have not been good to us small business owners. They haven't taken care of us. I don't know if they can take care of anyone. They don't have a lot of training in de-escalation. They don't have a lot of training in social work. And then even if they did, when they show up, they're armed to the teeth. What if instead of calling the police on someone from our community that we know is struggling, what if we could call another force? What if we could take the money that we spend on Portland police having tanks and flashbangs and put it into a team of social workers who could help that person return to our community healthy and whole? What if we could have that person who we know is a real person? What if we could have them recover, go back to work, come back into our community, be a customer again, be a member of our family, of our social circle again? What if that's the solution that we could have if we didn't spend all of these hundreds of millions of dollars on a violent militaristic force that is not actually helping our communities be strong and healthy? That's what I want you to think about as a small business owner. Ask yourself that question, because it is possible. It's in fact possible right now. On Wednesday, June 10th, the Portland City Council is renegotiating the police union contract. It is the one time every couple of years that we as citizens can implore our elected officials to protect our communities and to reduce funding for the police and put it into social work instead. We already have programs like Central City Concern in downtown Portland that are doing this kind of work, but they're severely underfunded. We need more social workers. We need more workers to keep people in housing, to keep people in jobs. We do not need more guns. We do not need more flashbangs. We do not need more tanks. So if you can, I'm going to put the number down here. Call Portland City Council today and ask them to please take some of this police money and put it into a fund for social safety nets. That is all I want you to do today. If you do that one thing, then in my eyes, you will have had an incredibly successful day. Thank you. Again, link below.